Hello girls, we got some lovely cold melon. There's one for Primmy, one for Lara. Good girl. There we go. It has been so hot here. Temperatures approaching 30 degrees. It's been relentless. I've had to just turn the fans off so that I can do some filming. And there's our little Lara in there. Right. It's not been good, really, not been a good time. We had our giveaways and our competitions in May, and that was good. The whole time through May I was watching Violet and Lara. Lara, we're pretty certain she just has scar tissue in her lungs, which is causing her rapid breathing. She's not displaying any other signs of heart problems. She's been to the vet a few times for a checkup. She's had antibiotics and then it clears the infection and then she'll be okay for a while. She's currently okay at the moment. She just has this sort of quite heavy breathing, which is common with rats who've had a lot of respiratory infections. And of course, since about November, December last year, the poor girl's been quite unwell on and off, and she's kept bouncing back. But little Violet, she had a mammary tumour that was growing very slowly. Our vet doesn't like to remove them, and quite honestly we don't like to have them removed either, especially with older rats and ones that have respiratory problems. We'd rather they lived out their life happily rather than put them through the stress of surgery and possibly lose them early. If she'd been a very young rat we would have obviously reconsidered. So what happened is we let this tumour wasn't bothering her at all at the time, but she was getting respiratory problems as well. And a few weeks ago she stopped running on her wheel and she started to really slow down. Now obviously the little mammary tumour could have been affecting her on the wheel, and we made the cage a little bit more interesting for her without the wheel. But we noticed that she'd always been such a happy little rat, really happy, bouncy. She didn't walk or anything. She would just bounce and jump and throw herself at you. I mean, she was one of those rats that I've had a few of them, like Chloe and Ellie. I would open the cage door and they would leap onto my shoulder or my head. Well, they're so agile and so good. I mean, they just know what they're doing, and they think nothing of jumping a foot across from the cage onto you. And with Violet, she was one of those rats that I would open the cage door and she would just throw herself at me, round about just below my neck, sort of round my collarbone, just cling onto my top and just sit there. She was sweet as anything. And she'd stopped throwing herself around. She'd really slowed down. I could actually cuddle her, which was very nice, but obviously that meant that she's getting old and she's possibly not with us much longer. And then suddenly last weekend, saying last weekend, it was the weekend before, the 23rd, around the 23rd, I was thinking, it was the 23rd was a Saturday, and I was thinking about KO, and it was the anniversary of KO having to be put to sleep. And I looked at Violet and I thought, I think I'm going to have to go to the vet. So I made her an appointment for a week's time, and then suddenly over the weekend she just went downhill. One minute she was fine and the next minute she was just not happy. She was eating her treats, but she was just not right. And so you have to work on instinct. When you know that something is just not right, you have to just go with that instinct. So instead of going to my appointment, which was in like sort of 8 days time, got to the Monday, and I thought, right, I'm going to go into the emergencies. I'm going to take her in and see what they say. And the vet agreed with me that she'd really gone downhill quickly, and it was better, rather than her suffering for her last few days or weeks, just to have her put to sleep there and then. And it was terrible. It was just you know, to see a rat that's been so happy and lively, but at least she was happy and lively until her last weekend, and she wasn't in pain, she wasn't suffering. I did give her some Metacam and some rat porridge, and you know, she was eating her food okay. It's just some rats don't want to sit still, and you could tell she wanted to be active. Hello my sweet, hello my gorgeous little girl, my little Lara. And all the time I've been worrying about little Lara as well, thinking that, you know, I was going to lose her. Do you like a little tiny bit more melon? It's such a hot day. There we go. Like a little bit more. That is a white snowball melon, and she really likes it. Come along, Primrose. So every afternoon the rats are having some melon to cool them down. But yes, she wanted to be active, and to see a rat go from being really active to non-active is not good. Where's little Primrose? Come on, Primmy, come up here. Oops, she's just done a flying leap and missed. Come on, up you come. Now it's very hot. The rats are back out on the floor so that they can just climb out of their cage at playtime. Hello. Good girl. Primrose, she loves to explore. We're having water playtime back again, which I'll try and do some filming. There's a piece more melon for you. She'll probably disappear and leave us now. But we're back to water playtime, which is lovely. Primrose likes to just sit in the bowl of water. Oh, you're getting little old ladies, aren't you? Can you see how she's struggled to get up there? So slow. You're struggling to get up there, weren't you, my darling? Yeah, come on, come and see us. You're going to come out and see us. That's it. Good girl. Yeah, she's a little slow old lady now, little Lara Bearcroft. Look at those wiggly Dumbo ears. They're gorgeous. So we're back to 2 in this cage, and they do have playtime with Matilda, because obviously what I'm considering is I lose Lara, I have Primmy on her own, so it's very important we keep up the playtime with Matilda so that Primmy would not be on her own if something happens to little Lara. Primmy is just climbing all over me. You're going to give me a little clean? Yeah, they smelled lovely. I smelled tasty of melon. So we're very, very sad, and when I brought Violet home and I let the girls say goodbye, they were very sad, and Lara, she held on to Violet. She kissed her head and she licked her face, and it is so, so sad. And obviously they must smell the anaesthetic gas, because my rats are always euthanized with an anaesthetic gas as if they were having an operation to put them to sleep before they have the injection, because I will not have them feeling pain or suffering in their last minutes. So she gave her a good clean. Look at those ears, are so gorgeous. Look at her, she's so lovely. So these are my 2 little old ladies. No one has told Primrose that she's 2 yet. She doesn't yet know she's 2. No, she has no idea. She's no idea that she's 2, has she? There we go. Back up on my knee. We're not going to run around the floor at the moment because I can't watch you. So we're, you know, dreadfully sad, and it's one of those reasons why I think it's always better to have little groups of 3 or 4 if one rat does die early. No, 2 is a good age, but it's nowhere near as old as I hoped. I was hoping they would all get to over 2. When I first started rescuing rats, well, rats all lived to over 2. 2 years 8, 2 years 10, and it's only been the last few years. I don't know if it's the place we're living in, where there's maybe the breeding is not as good of the rats. I just really don't know. But the one thing I do know is, however old they live, they're all absolutely beautiful, and the best natured little rats we've had. So sweet. Yes, but we're back to 2. You're going to have a little wash now. Do you want to clean your face? It's a bit sticky, Melon, isn't it? So you can see her breathing is very rapid, but it doesn't appear to be her heart. So we'll have to assume that it is scar tissue. I'm not going to put her through a general anaesthetic to find out if it is tumours, because if it is tumours, she's not suffering. Oh, do you want to go? Doesn't want to come on. Doesn't want to come near the tripod. It's only the tripod. Come on, you can come out. You've seen the tripod before. Yeah, come on, Primmy Prim. That's it. There we come. There we go. Primmy likes to do everything on her own, don't you, Primmy? But yeah, she's happy. She's eating. She likes to come and sit on my knee, and I'm sitting a little bit further away from the cage than normal. Normally she would just run down the ramp and come and sit on my knee, and then go and have an explore when she's sure that the floor is safe. But we're back to 2, and it is sad, but they are beautiful, and we will just have to take every day as it comes, I'm afraid. So there we go, Primmy, you go in for now. There we go. You're in a little scratch and a clean. Yeah, good girls. You've had some lovely melon to keep cool. Do you want to sit on her poor little Lara's head? Okay, so bearers of bad news again. So we are now down to 9 rats. We now have 5 girls and we have 4 boys. That's a good girl. Give me a little clean. Good girl. Say bye-bye, girls. Bye-bye.